connecting. Okay, here we go. There we go. There's notification. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to the Sea Live podcast. My name is Sam, and as always, it wouldn't be a Sea Live podcast if I didn't have my trusted friend, computer illiterate, Chris Vons.
Hey! And I'm still computer illiterate, and it was my New Year's resolution.
And are you any further about, when are you going to do a podcast from your end? This is the thing.
You're joking, aren't you? I tell you what I need, though, to really zone into my podcast production. I think I need a pair of glasses.
Oh, you can't throw me in like that.
Tell me, Sam, what happened this week? You had to go to the opticians, and what happened?
Do you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to put them on.
Are you doing it?
Well, I'm worried about the lens flare, but ladies and gentlemen, I got glasses. I want likes in the comments and comments about me new glasses, please, because I think I look like Superman.
I think you look very suave.
Do you know what? Let's find out what our guest should I say thinks about my new glasses. She's a singer-songwriter from the heart of Liverpool. She's a good friend of mine. It's Daisy Gill. How you doing, Daisy?
Hi,
Hey!
Sam. Okay. Hi, Chris. Your glasses look lovely. If it's any consolation, I've got to wear glasses now because they told me I've got a turn in my eye.
No, you see, my prescription is one of those where they were like, you don't need glasses, but this will, help it in the long run, £165 later.
That's what they said to me, but then they laughed at me. Like, they genuinely laughed at me because I could feel my bug eye coming on when she was like trying not to laugh. And I started laughing. Then she laughed at me and I went, "You're laughing at me bug eye, aren't you?" And she couldn't help herself, and that was really unprofessional, and she was trying to like contain herself, but she was nice. She said, I've got a bit of a bug eye.
You actually said to the optician, "Have I got a bug eye?"
Yeah, and she started laughing. And she said, "Well, you have got a bit of a turn in the eye, so these glasses might help. It's because you squint your eyes because you're very... What's it when you can't see distance?"
Oh, don't ask me.
I think it's short-sighted, and then because I should have been wearing glasses from that, and I never wore them, I've made my eyes go really... I've strained my eyes, essentially, on top of computer use and phone use, so I've given myself a bug eye.
Here's one for you. I only had my first... in school, do you remember? I don't know, I'm a bit older than you two, but do you ever remember in school when you had to put your hand over your eye and then you read the letters on the board and it went really small? That was the last time I had an eye test in school when I had to do that.
That's
so
really
I went...
bad. You should probably sort that out.
It was probably, I was probably the same, probably about the same age, like probably about primary school, year 6, probably high school.
This was not last year, the year before, so I went because my dad had a cataract, so I thought, I better start looking after my eyes. Are they hereditary? I'm getting a bit older now. Not too old, but I went and she said, "You've got perfect eyes, you've not got short-sighted or a bug eye." So that's great.
Can't play guitar though.
Well, you can't win at everything, can you?
You can't. This is true. So, Daisy, what have you been up to in this lockdown?
Absolutely right all.
So busy then.
Thanks everybody for tuning into the Sea Live podcast. My name's Sam, that's been Chris. Bye everyone.
I've been learning to cook this time around, like the first lockdown.
Fair play.
I was just eating crap foods. Well, I wasn't, I'm exaggerating. And then this time I've been making Jamaican prawn stews and homemade Chinese food. I'm like thinking I'm good and mumsy. But I made ravioli today and it was a disaster, so I'm not quite there yet.
Ravioli today. I opened the tin, poured it out. Perfect.
No, I got it from at Mars. Well, not me. My mum got me it. Like I wouldn't fork that out. I think it's too expensive. But my mum bought me from Marks and Spencers, and I made like sauce to go with it. And she said the onions were raw, so I don't think I did very good this time round. But it's okay. Okay, you can't win at everything.
Well, exactly. Sam, you do a bit of cooking though, don't you? You do a marvelous quiche, I bet.
I do quiches. We do the HelloFresh boxes. So if you're listening HelloFresh and you want to sponsor the podcast, you're very much welcome to. Because I sing your praises every week to every person and try and get everyone signed up to our boxes. I do. I want that. That's what we want. Let's not beat around the bush. We love a sponsor. We would. We wouldn't we, Chris?
Oh, here we go. We would. I'm gonna do something cooking-esque. I'm the cook in our house. I do all the cooking.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do something I've never done before. I'm gonna make a cake this weekend.
Oh yeah. Oh, I make cakes. I'm that good at cakes.
I've never done a cake in my life. I've done everything I can do. I do all the cooking. I love doing barbecues, everything. But I've never made a cake in my life.
You need to make a cake.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it on Sunday. But I'm gonna start small. I'm gonna do cupcakes.
Yeah, you should. Don't get like shop or box though. They're horrible.
No.
They taste like crap.
I've got the tray. I got the tray today. I've got all the ingredients. I'm gonna go for it. Vanilla.
Do it.
Vanilla.
My cakes are lovely. Except I want to make cookies and I put about like 10 chocolate chips in them and wondered why they were like horrible. And then I put more chocolate chips in and then I was like, oh, this is why it was wrong. So I don't know why. I just thought I put half a cup in, and I know you're supposed to put like 2 full bags of chocolate chips in, not half a cup.
Do you know what? I had carrot cake today, and it was probably one of the best carrot cakes I've ever had. You know the Costco carrot cake?
Oh my God, don't get me started. I went to Costco yesterday, and you know them big massive birthday cakes they do? They now do them in a smaller version, and I'm so tempted to buy one. Yeah, they do one for a tenner in, like, have you ever got like the the carrot cake that you're going on about? It's like a round one. Yeah, it's like a tenner. Well, the birthday cakes are like massive, but you can get a birthday cake with that lovely frosting on it for a tenner, and it's round like the carrot cake or the fudge cake or the red velvet. I was gonna buy one, but my mum was like, your birthday's a month away and you've already ordered a cake. Why are you doing that? So I was like, yeah, it's best not to do that. So I didn't get it.
It's going to be a lockdown birthday for you then?
Yeah, but last year I went to Cyprus and that was quite the adventure.
Go on, tell us what happened in Cyprus. You can't leave us on a cliffhanger like that.
Well, my mum's not very, I'm not going to like pour like, you know, make my mum feel like crap or anything, but she's not the best on the internet and she didn't look at the reviews and went like whatever website she bought it off, I think it was like On the Beach or something, says it's a 5-star. What it really means is it's a 2-star. So she was like, oh yeah, we're staying in this lovely, we got there was like cats running everywhere and the food was horrible and like, yeah, it was all inclusive, so to like numb the pain, we both just got drunk off like cocktails the whole holiday, and it was quite fun.
Well, I find those are the best holidays where you literally go there and you're like,
it was awful, but it was hilarious.
You'll go there and you'll think, oh, this isn't what I expected. Like there was a time when I went on holiday and there was only one room key between the two of us, and I'm thinking to myself, like that's what if I want to go and do something and she wants to go and do like that's not fair. Like we're meant to be going around anyway. Regardless, those are the best holidays because you end up coming away.
The one thing Mum always ends up like that because the year before she books a mini break to Lanzarote, and when we got there again, it was another one of these On the Beach things, and it's like a 4-star hotel, it'll be lovely. When we got there, it was like the toilet was broke, the lights wouldn't work, like everything that could have went wrong. The food was disgusting, and we were like, oh my God, thank God we're only here for like 3 days, but we found it dead funny, and the heating wouldn't work, so we had to like sleep on the couches because there was no heating in the bathrooms. So I was like, Mum, just leave the holiday booking to me from now on.
I did a trip and we drove from Liverpool to Belgium, then we went to Germany, then we drove all the way to the Swiss Alps, Italian Alps, all the way down to Monaco. right? And then obviously we had to drive out. But when we got to Monaco, on the way to Monaco, there was 3 of us, 10 days. So we said, let's get a hotel in Monaco. And we were like, fab, let's do it. We've been camping all these amazing places, so let's do it. So the lads booked it, and it was -5-star hotel. It was the worst.
How can you have -5?
Because I'll tell you why. Because it was decorated from like the God knows, it was the worst decorated room you've had. The toilet door, right, had glass on, right, and it was that far away from the toilet. So we got a picture of my mate sat on the toilet, and his nose was squashed on the glass, and you'd see his face on the glass. It was the worst hotel I've ever stayed in. But you know, it's part of what you do.
It was funny though. It is. Them holidays are funny, aren't they?
You get on the cocktails.
Especially when it's all inclusive. My mum won the bingo on that holiday though, and there was they had good entertainment. They had karaoke on and that, but we weren't there long enough for the karaoke. And she, as I said, she won the bingo, and there was parrots. There was a parrot show, and they brought snakes and an iguana, and I crapped myself at the iguana, and I was going, ah! And I stroked it, and I was like, look, I'm stroking the iguana, mum.
I knew you'd have trouble with this one tonight, so.
When she started putting the emojis in the Skype chat, I'm thinking, oh dear. Do we regret this one? No, we don't regret this one at all.
Apart from cookies that you don't put enough chocolate chips in, crazy holidays. What do you do for the listeners and the viewers? What do you do singing wise? You're a singer, aren't you?
Well, obviously, I was going to be on your agency last year, and then COVID,
that old
the
chestnut.
lovely, beautiful COVID happened. So that didn't go to plan. But like, obviously, I've known Sam a few years from doing like the green rooms and some funny stories from those days.
I've got a story to tell.
I want you to share.
Are these the stories that we have to say off live, or can we say?
No, I mean, I could say them. Just funny things like when my mum met the Bay City Rollers and she went all shy because I was like the little 17-year-old support act, and like they wouldn't even look at me, but she was all like, oh, the Bay City Rollers, I like them as a kid. You know, just funny things like that, or like some people who were like, sounds terrible, but like, you know, the careers were like dying and they were like pompous and like really arrogant. I'm like, just little things like that. But that was just part of it. You get people like that, don't you? But for the most part, going off on one, you know, like I sing and I write songs and I do other things as well. Yeah, and make really bad cookies.
So
and I chat shit about people on the internet.
We've all been guilty of that. But you're a songwriter, aren't you?
Yeah, primarily like I write songs. I've got like, I'm working on some things at the minute, but I was saying just yesterday, I don't like saying things because the amount of times I've went on like interviews like this or like local radio, and I've been like, oh, I'm working with this person or I'm doing this, and then like it just doesn't happen or something goes wrong. So I'm like, I'm not gonna say it until it's completely finished and I know I've got a finished product and I can be like, okay, this is happening. But I'm still working on things, shall we say, but we'll just see what happens. Let's see where it takes me.
She was in Costco shouting, I'm on the Sea Life podcast. It would fall through, and it still continued.
yeah. I was looking for Freddos and I was going, everyone, I'm on the Sea Life podcast. Come on, watch us. No, I was buying cakes.
And you develop how did you develop your songwriting skills? Did you?
I was on set, dude, and I went, what?
What?
You were like, you went, you're a songwriter, and I went, what?
Well, you know, hopefully.
Sorry. I'm a bit tired. What did you say?
When did you start writing songs?
I was about 12, you know.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, if not a bit younger, like when I was a kid in school, I used to walk around the playground thinking I was in a music video. And like pulling on my faces, and I used to like want to be a songwriter. And then Hannah Montana came along and I was like, yes. And our school, right, it had like this hut and it had a stage on it, And I was known as the kid who sang on that stage. Like every day, I used to sing Hannah Montana to all my classmates. And then I had to sing in my assembly because the teachers found out. And I remember singing Hallelujah by Alexander Burke. And like I was dead embarrassed because me head teacher, Miss Hollerton, who was Irish, she was like, oh, she needs to sing. And then I kind of like got a bit older and then started writing songs properly and not just walking around pretending I was in a music video making songs up in me. And I started playing I played the piano from a young age. I could play by ear, and I was self-taught from like the age of 5 because my auntie got me a keyboard. And then as I got older, I got into like secondary school and I started learning keyboard skills in my music classes. So I learned like basic chords and stuff. And I already knew music theory, so then started writing songs. And then when I was 13, I picked up a guitar because of Taylor Swift. And I got a Taylor guitar because Taylor Swift.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I call like Hannah Montana and Taylor Swift teams.
She was in Hannah Montana, wasn't she? She was in the film.
Film, yeah.
I love Taylor Swift. I'll put it out there.
I love Swift.
She's just had all her music taken off her by a producer, hasn't she? There's been a bit of a hoo-ha. Yeah.
They bought a master's apparently and didn't tell her, so she didn't have the opportunity to like buy. I'm into all the gossip columns, and then I sit there and I was watching, look all this YouTube drama and like, oh, what's going on with the Tana Monjous of this world, and then things come up. Well, do you know who Tana Monjou is?
I do.
No,
I do.
He does.
No, I do. I do.
And you should know she is, Sam, really. But you do. Because you've been watching her content. Guilty pleasure.
So, yes.
Instagram pics. I'm sorry.
I'm not putting my face because I'm bright red at the minute. But there we go, go on.
I know. But no, I've lost my train of thought now because I'm just acting like.
We're on about Taylor Swift's Masters.
Yeah, Taylor Swift's Masters. So yeah, it's been a nightmare for her. But she's re-recording all her old albums.
I wish how's she getting round it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ah.
Well,
that's really cool.
I mean, it's crazy to think that like these artists are coming away with hardly any money. I mean. Yourself, Daisy, like the pyramid scheme of, how the money trickles down and every artist is at the bottom of this money pyramid. Go on.
Yeah.
And
there's a big dispute going on at the moment. Sorry to interrupt you, isn't there, with Spotify?
Yeah, I mean...
Because I can't remember what artist it was. He's really big. Oh my God, it's at the tip of my tongue. And he's like... Who's that famous in like the 80s? I can't remember.
He's in 80s. Yeah.
Do you know him on about? And he got £37 for 1 million streams.
Yeah.
It's like, what? That's insane.
And that's
crazy.
That's where sometimes the Spotify is the downfall of musicians.
Yeah.
Was it?
I think
so.
He
got 1 million views, over 1 million streams or something.
Something like that, and he got £37 for it. Because it's like 0.0001 pence for every stream you get or something. It's really stupid. But they're making loads of money off like the artists, and obviously the record labels, they're making money off it as well. But it's backwards really. If people are writing their own songs and it's their material, they should be getting a little bit something more substantial than like £37.
I mean, take us back 10 years when the likes of Napster and obviously like Livewire were about, and you were able to download, Gnarls Barkley's Crazy. I remember I did that on LimeWire, should I say, and downloaded that illegally. Obviously paid for it now, but, back then I could understand because it was the means to download the latest MP3 on your latest Nokia phone. But now I feel like majority of, people our age, Daisy, are buying, Spotify, Google Music, Amazon Music, have that subscription. So the money is there and the money is being distributed in the wrong way, isn't it?
I was just about to write out of my mouth. It's just a shame it's not being distributed evenly and equally to like the artists at hand, even like smaller artists. Like I think I've made something stupid like 20p or something like from my streams, from a couple of thousand streams. It's ridiculous, like, but it just is what it is. It's like I think from what I know, you get more now from Apple, and that again, was to do with Taylor Swift, because I'm pretty sure she had a dispute with Apple a few years ago because, again, like this thing, what's going on with Spotify, where like money wasn't getting distributed evenly and equally, so it's kind of better for Apple streams, I think, but it's still not like the best, is it?
No.
It's not. I don't know. I'm a big believer of buying the hard album, if you know what I mean.
like
the vinyl or the CD. Not such as, but I was only talking about this the other day. Artists used to release a single, and then they'd have 2 B-sides on the single. You don't get that anymore. An artist will release the A side, and that's your download. So there's your singles download charge.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's the creative side of it is more towards the album. So that's why I think the album chart is still important, because
they are.
It's genuine hard buying copies as well. Which
Yeah, I think like vinyls really went steadily on the increase over the past few years, and that's really like going like that, and streams are going down. It's just like, not that they're going down, but like revenue wise, like buying vinyls has went like really big again. And it's ever changing, like, because of the technological world that we live in. Like 20 years ago, God, not even like 20 years, like 10 years ago, streaming just wasn't even something in our minds, you know. And now we've got to this point where like it's the big thing, but then again, it could change in the next 5 years, where it could go back to buying physical hard copies again, because it will have vinyls having this big massive shooters to say that like CDs won't come back, or tapes. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just don't know.
Tapes.
I mean, that's me being optimistic.
Yeah.
That might not be the case, but you know, you don't know. It's forever changing. So yeah.
There's a certain
Tapes,
sound,
you know
isn't there,
what?
Chris, with a vinyl? I mean, you've got a few vinyls, haven't you?
Hard copy. Yeah, it's hard copy. But I remember when I was a kid, you were obviously in the schoolyard singing like you were in the music videos. I used to make mixtapes and put them on my Walkman and stuff like that. It was that's where you kind of you start. That's where I first got into music, making my own mixtapes.
Was it?
Yeah, and every week you'd listen to the charts and you'd try and stop it before he said the name of the track, so you wouldn't have.
See, this is a little bit too much for me, because I don't know what you're talking about.
So
I'm a bit too young for that.
The UK charts every Sunday on the radio. Every radio station would have the UK charts. In fact, it was only certain charts, but everyone does the charts now.
Yeah.
So you'd record onto your cassette, so you could listen to it whenever you want, and then the presenter would say number 3 in the charts this week. So you'd have to stop the tape before he spoke.
Stop it before.
Because every time you'd listen to your track, you'd hear him go number 3 in the charts. So
I think they should bring Top of the Pops back.
Well, I agree with you.
It should be an online thing, surely. Like, the internet's not going away. So for me, you know, it could be like, you know, the way BBC 3 went online, and like the independent stuff was still online.
Couldn't be. Yeah.
So why can't they do like a pop, like even a Top of the Pops, but they're independent?
To do something similar a few years ago, and it just flopped, and it was on a Friday, and Demi Lovato was on it. I just remember that was being the pilot, and it just did. Do you remember that?
That's why it flopped.
Because Demi Lovato's got a good voice.
Now she's alright. You know what I mean?
She's alright. I like Demi Lovato.
Yeah. Do you know? But at the end of the day, I think something needs to change.
I think something will come into that point where, you know, every 10 years something changes, and we're in 2021 now. So
see, this is what I'm thinking. Sam has a go at me every week because I'm rubbish on computers, right? But I'll get to the stage where I won't learn how to do them, but the world will go back to where you don't need them, and I'll be fine.
I don't think that's going to happen, Chris. I think you're just being really optimistic there. I think we're advancing. I don't think we're going to like decline back to, you know.
Go to the time with tapes, and I'll be
fine. No, we'll go back to the time where there was no electricity, and we're all sat there with candles. Oh, can you see in the dark? You know what I mean? Is that more to your liking?
That's me, do you know? So,
okay.
Sam, that's what's going to happen.
Okay, yeah.
He's saying.
In a different dimension, maybe.
Yeah.
In a different realm. of the
Different
universe.
alternate
Okay.
universe, Chris. We can all pray and hope, can't we? But it ain't gonna happen. But in this new futuristic world, hopefully there's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, because you can follow us on those social medias. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at C Live. On Twitter, we are at C Live Enter1, and also on Instagram, we are at C Live UK. Now, Daisy Gill, you've become a little bit of a TikTok. Don't want to say star, but for not you went viral on one of your.
I did go viral, but ironically, I didn't go viral on TikTok. I went viral on Facebook.
Well, viral on
So I've only got
Facebook
about
with a
5.
TikTok is unreal.
I know. I've only got 500 followers on TikTok, and that's steadily declining because I haven't posted anything in over a month. So I've got about like 496 now. Because people are like, she hasn't posted nothing, I'm unfollowing her. But yeah, I went viral on Facebook for a silly video. I didn't even think I'd get like 10 likes on it, let alone how far it got blown out of proportion.
For the people at home,
in my
just tell them how many views it got.
It got 350,000
Wow.
views, and it got like something like 20,000 shares, if not a little bit more. It was just ridiculous. I just didn't even think that was going to happen. But that's the beauty of online videos and like just being online, isn't it? Like anything can just catch the algorithm, and it just gets pushed out to the stratosphere of Facebook, and it was getting to the point where like my mate was texting me being like, "You're in my work's group chat." And it would be like, my mum would be like, "People in work keep showing me your video," and I was like, it was to the point where people from Brazil were watching it, and I was like,
Whoa.
yeah, this just went too far now. I'm
That's
famous.
For those that don't
I'm
know,
famous
Daisy,
5 minutes.
let the people know exactly what it was about, because it's hilarious.
Hiya, babe. It's me, COVID.
So I'll set the scene, folks. I'll set the scene. So on TikTok, you can sort of put your face onto another image, and what Daisy had done, and she'd put her eyes on the bacteria of COVID virus with her mouth that was talking away, and she said the following.
He's got it clipped in.
No, I'm saying you do it now. You do it now.
I said the following. I thought you were going to like press play.
I'm not that good.
I can't even remember what I said on it. You actually get it up on my phone. So get the audio up.
Get the audio up.
I can
Let's
do
hear
that.
it. But it's one of those, because I know Chris, you haven't seen it, have you, Chris?
I haven't seen it. He was going to send me it and he forgot, so
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, sorry
You can
about
listen
that.
to the audio now.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't got TikTok.
It's all right. So I didn't have it until
I'm too
there
busy
it
doing
is.
me mixtapes.
It's me. I'm back.
Swears a bit of sorry.
I'm back to the UK. I never left really, but I just got some news for you, Sam. Some news. I'm only coming out now after 10 o'clock, okay? I'm only coming out after 10 o'clock, so if you don't want to see me, you better be home before 10, because that's when I'm out. Just causing mayhem. Also, I'm not going to schools. No, that shit. I'm not standing kids. Won't be going to schools anytime soon. No, none of that. I also won't be going to work. I'm going to workplaces, because he wants to go to work. I mean, where? I'm not going there and watch it. No, the only places I go is like pubs and restaurants and like garden parties and shit like that. But yeah, no. Anyway, so that's my new rules, yeah. If you don't want to see me, you better follow them, okay? Bye.
But they were series them. I did like, because people kept asking for them. So I think I did like 3 more after that, and I couldn't be bothered. I was like, I'm not keeping this up. I don't want to be known as the COVID girl. I think I can aspire to more things than that. So I was like, don't want this to be like the forefront of my identity. So I was like, I'm not going to do this frequently. So I did 2 more. There was one called COVID in Britain Part 2. Then it was It's COVID's birth. And then it was COVID at Christmas.
Wow.
So 2, 3, 4.
Well,
There we go.
so apart from making COVID videos, have you been writing any music?
Yes, I have. I've been writing lots of music. And again, like I can't say, because I'm like, whatever, then bring it out and I do
There's
the
material there, though, Daisy. Like, you haven't just sat on your bum like me and done absolutely nothing.
Started producing. Like
Ooh.
I'm a producer now. No, I'm not. But my mum bought me for Christmas. I was like, can I have an Apple MacBook Pro? I'm so, pretentious. I was like, give me an Apple MacBook Pro for Christmas. Spoiled child. Like, give me a £2,000 laptop. So she got me one of them. I was like, because I wanna learn, because I wanted to learn to produce, purely for my own benefit as well, like, so that like when I do go into studios, I can go in with like proper formed ideas and not just before that. I'll be honest, my creative process was go in a studio, go with my guitar, on a piano, and then just shit something out.
Yeah.
Quite literally, like whatever came out, I had no control over it because it just like, yeah, that'll do. Not like that makes it sound like I didn't care, because I did, but I just don't think I was being as creative as I could have been because I didn't think I had the capabilities to. So then I started last year. I went to not uni, I went to college for like a month, and then I couldn't get funding because I already did 1 year of uni somewhere else, and they were like, you've already got A levels, so it's no point you staying on this course for you to just like not be able to finish your degree if you want to do your degree, because I can still pay for a degree even though I've like done a year of uni. So I did like production for a month, and I already knew bits, and that kind of helped me understand things like a bit more. So I knew the basics, and then if I'm being honest, I just kind of got bored of people messing me about a bit. Like, I think you can sometimes know, like as an artist, like producers can be really flaky. It's like 1 minute, like, oh yeah, let's work together, and then like you don't hear from them for 2 months, and it's like, I can't be bothered with this shit. I want to just get things done, and if that means me just buying a load of gear, or like helping like getting me mum to buy me a load of gear,
Hey, well done,
and
Mum.
Pete bought me some gear, who's my manager, and Peasy, and just like doing it myself for the time being, and like then maybe sending it off to a producer or doing whatever. At least I can work on something then, and like, I don't know, like I'm actually all right at it. I'm not saying I'm like gonna be the next Mark Ronson or anything, but like, I can make solid tracks and know where I want to go creatively with it, so that if I do want to go into a studio, I can go, here's my ideas, this is what I've done, there we go, and let's just develop it. So I've been doing that. So I haven't been completely lazy and stagnant. I've been like learning all this stuff, and I'm having troubles actually recording vocals because no one told me that when you record a vocal you need the right sort of room, and they call that source apparently. And if your room's too like got nothing in it and it's just walls, like my spare room, so I'm turning it into desk or something, like it just like literally bounces back, and you get all reflections in your mic, so like your vocals even, they sound dead echoey. And I was like, how do I fix this? Because I want to add reverb, but I can't, because I'll sound like I'm in a friggin' waterfall or something. Like, so it's just learning curves. So I enjoy learning though. So yeah.
This is the time. This is the time. This is the time to do it though.
I mean, YouTube's, and you can learn so much, and you can do all this stuff now. You can learn to play instruments, and you can learn to cook off YouTube, and you can learn to produce off YouTube with all these amazing, like, award-winning producers just being like, "Yeah, you press that button." It's not like that, simple as if. I'd love it to be that simple, but it does help having those people on the internet at hands for free, just being like, "Yo, how do I do this?" So.
Do you think this new process then will change how you write songs?
Yeah, I think it really has, because I know exactly how I want things to sound now, and I know how to mold a track where I didn't have those skills beforehand. Like I'll be honest, I think because I've went through a bit of a weird journey with my music. Like I've been every genre going under the sun, really. I think if you look back at my earlier stuff, like I was like dead jazz for a bit, and people not jazz, but like did like retro blues type thing, and people used to compare me to like Paloma Faith. And the thing was, I just didn't actually resonate with that. And I think because I dressed a certain way, I thought I had to fit into that mold, and I boxed myself in too much. So then I ended up making it more complicated, as us women do, and just making it too I was just too all over the place with it. So I don't think I knew what I wanted. But now that I'm in a more clearer headspace and I know none of that really matters, I feel like I can just be myself, and it's just about like making good music, not necessarily about being a stereotype or boxing myself into boxes. If
Yeah.
that was really poor the way I'd like
But at
explain
this,
that, but you know
I
what I
know what you
mean.
mean. But at the same time, you are one of these artists that can pull different genres at the bag. Obviously, you know, you were down with us before COVID happened to do the VE Memorial Day in town. You know, I've seen you perform in the likes of Grand Central in the Green Room doing your pop sort of up tempo set. And like you just said, there's the jazz stuff as well. So there is a wide range of, you know, different genres.
Because I love so many different genres, it was hard for me to like be like, oh, well, I just want to be this. Because for a while I was like country, and then I like did other things, and then like I was in this weird band, and I was like, why am I doing this? This is stupid. And I did that for like a year, and I was like, well, that was a year of my life I can't get back with people who were a bit shit. But that's he's laughing because he knows it too well. But like it is, I had to go through these little weird things to actually like know myself as a person and as like an artist, because it is its learning curves. And I think now like the stuff I'm working on now is gonna be completely different if I do put it out, which I will put it out obviously, but I'm just saying that because I know what I'm like. But you know, I think it's going to be a lot different to what people maybe have heard from me in the past, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know, but we'll just see what happens.
I think it's going to be a good thing. Another string
Yeah.
to your
We'll
bow when you
see.
think about it.
It's more poppier sounds I'm going for, really, because I really love pop music, and I think I like, as an artist, I deprived myself of letting myself write pop songs for years, because I started off, people didn't know that, but I started off writing songs on the piano and writing like pop songs when I was like 12, what I love. And then just through like my own like disbelief, I thought, oh well, I can't be pop because I don't fit the mold of what a pop person should look like, or this or that. And I just like would write country songs or write other songs, but that wasn't where my heart was at. Like I genuinely adore pop music. Like I listen to Capital all day, every day. Like I love it. I don't care. Like I love the chart music. I love everything that's going on. It's like it's fresh and it's exciting. And pop production gets a like pop production's amazing. And I think pop music gets a bad rep. You know, you get these old musos being like, oh, pop's crap and this, that. I didn't realise what goes into the production of a pop song, like a modern pop song. Like it's immense. And like doing pop melodies and like making a proper boss chorus or a hook, that takes like
It's an art, isn't
effort.
it?
It's an art. You can't just like, it's not like, it sounds so easy, but it's not. Do you know what I mean? It's just mad. It's
Well,
mad,
that's
mad.
that's modern pop music, though. The turnaround of modern pop music is so quick now, though,
I know.
because there are the tools available and the technology available to do this. So, if you listen to most pop music now, it's kind of a 4-chord hook
I know.
with things over the top of it.
I'm just totally inspired by a lot of the artists that are coming through at the minute. Like, even like I wasn't really into Billie Eilish until like a few months ago, because I thought, oh, like without sounding audible, I was like, oh, what's this like gothy girl? Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't understand it, and now I've listened to it. I'm like, the fact that they did that first EP in her bedroom with just like not even like a condenser mic. It was just a dynamic microphone they used. I think it was something like a SM58 or something, I'm sure. I don't know. Because I watched like an interview of it and she like showed the mic. It was like just a dynamic microphone. I was like, the fact that kids can like produce in their home to this standard now is just unreal. And I think that's a good thing, because it gives so many young people like an opportunity to like develop their skills, where back in the day, if you were an artist, you had to get a development deal and you had to work with 20 producers, where like you're getting really talented people like the likes of Billie Eilish. Well, it's more like Phineas on the production element of her, but like, you know, these young kids like just producing these amazing sounding tracks in the bedroom, and you're like, that just sounds like it should be done on Abbey Road or something. It's amazing. Like,
Well, I feel like I'm going into like with SoundCloud. Like SoundCloud seems to me like where everyone that is wanting to put music out is putting it out. Obviously, it's a free platform. You can upload whatever you want. I'm going like through a rabbit hole of great artist after great artist. I mean, we had obviously May J, who was on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, who's a great artist that was on the podcast, like I said, and you know, he's coming out with this unbelievable album, No Guilt, No Pleasure, which is unbelievable. People should go and check that out as well. But it seems to me that for people to make music now, it's more accessible, like you said. You know, anyone in there. You know, it used to be a case of like having to, you know, get the back a record, and a catalogue full of things.
And get ghostwriters in if you couldn't write songs and stuff like that. Like Rihanna.
It's getting to...
I love it.
Go on, Chris.
As a guitarist,
That wasn't a thing.
Your singers. As a guitarist, the thing that changed my life was a 4-track recorder when I was about 16. Yeah, 4-track recorder, and then you could overlay 4 tracks, and that's all you needed. It just opened
when
the
you
door.
think of it, you did really, didn't you? Just needed like your guitar, your bass, your vocal, your drum.
And that's it. And you've got your little home.
Your little demo set almost.
And that's it. And we used it as demo. And so you'd go and record and say, right, here's the rough demo. Like kind of what you're doing.
Yeah.
What you're doing it on a completely grander scale. But we used to just go with tapes and say, right, there's what we've done. Let's record it. It's good times. And now kids can get digital 4 tracks, digital 24 tracks, put drum tracks on it. It's just madness.
It's
and you can all do it from that. Yeah.
Like I've been learning to sample and stuff like the past few weeks because I've had nothing to do in this new lockdown, and like there's so many like things you can get and like so many plugins. I mean, don't overload your thing with plugins. That's something I've learned, but it's just there's so much you can do. It's just unreal. Like it's I'm going off on one.
No, this is good.
Do you think we're going to hear it towards the end of this year, or are you going to save it till you can perform it properly, or what?
I don't know yet. Well, this is the thing. That's why I don't want to talk too much about like what I've been doing, because I don't know everything, especially now with like the unprecedented times that we're in. Like, I just don't know when I'm going to bring it out. I don't know. I've got a rough timeline, but I just don't know. Hopefully, I'll get like the demos sorted by like the end of this month type thing.
Wow,
okay. My first rough drafts, and then we'll just see. I don't know. I can't say just yet.
I think we're all in the position where we just don't know what's
happening.
Do we? From the biggest artists to us, we just they're in the same boat. I've spoken to 2 big artists today who literally don't know what's happening.
It just is what it is, and you've just kind of got to like ride this weird wave that's going on, almost a tsunami wave. Just like that's happened the past year. That's what it's felt like. Just like what has gone on, but we've just got to like just try and like keep our heads above the water. Excuse the pun. As artists and as like musicians, because I feel like not to go like political, because I'm not going political, but our industry has.
She's going there.
I don't mean to go too political, but as artists, our industry has been proper targeted by this. So we've felt the brunt of a lot of this, and a lot of us have been maybe out of a job or this or that, and it's been a big, massive change for everybody. Like, for the first time in my life, I've had to get a normal job. Like, Sam saw me in TK Maxx. So working in TK Maxx for Christmas.
How have we got through nearly 45 minutes of this podcast without talking about TK Maxx?
TK Maxx. TK Maxx was fun.
TK Maxx.
It was funny.
I get all my suits for performances.
Hey, do you know what? I got staff discount. I was made up. I only used it twice, but I bought a bag that should have been £300.
Wow.
And I got like 40, which with my staff discount. And then I got 2 like designer dresses for like £50. I was like, go ahead, girl, you've done yourself some.
I guess that's
the
perk of working in TK Maxx, is because you can go in before the doors are open. You can go in, you can have a little look, see where the Calvin Klein stuff is, see where the I know your game.
It was. You knew me game.
I know your game.
And I used to put things on hold.
Listen, I've just got to correct one thing that I did say. I said no guilt, no pleasure, which is wrong. It's no guilt, all pleasure by May J. I put no guilt, no pleasure, but his album is no guilt, all pleasure. So That's my bad.
Okay.
So make sure you go and...
Why is this some? Okay. Someone commented that.
No, I'm just an absolute idiot.
Oh, okay.
And realised
I
that
don't
when
think you're
I
an
when I
idiot,
said
Sam. I think you're being harsh on
when I
yourself.
said it, I went, "That's wrong," because no guilt, no pleasure means that he's not getting anything. You know what I mean? Thinking about it, and all the music is about his lovers. And anyway, I'm rambling on. Daisy, in 10 years' time, where do you see yourself? What's the main goal in 10 years' time?
I don't know, like, I'd love to, like, say I've, like, played Glastonbury and blah, 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 and I'm, like, a friggin' multi-platinum artist. I think everybody would love that, wouldn't they? But you know what? I'll just see where it takes me and see what's to become. What should be will be. What will be even.
Exactly. Best way to be.
Just have fun, have a laugh, you know, get pissed in bad hotels on holiday, and everything will be fine.
When we can go on holiday, jab and go, as they're saying on Ryanair now, which is just ridiculous, but there you go.
Girl, I know who's on holiday right now.
How?
I'm like, how? I don't know, and I'm not even asking. I'm just like, I don't even want to know.
Well,
I don't want to know because I don't know if I'm jealous. I'm just like.
Well, I seen
how?
all the Love Island folk were out there in Dubai, hitting the sun, doing photo shoots.
Everything, isn't it?
You know.
So I think someone's found a way, but I'm like, well, they were just. I'm not even going to go there because again, I'm going to get political because you can't not talk about this. People are like this. This isn't. It is. I'm not even going there. I'm not even going there. I don't know.
Where can everyone find your?
Pardon.
Everyone find your music.
Like
Tell-
Spotify, SoundCloud. Where else can they find it? Apple.
Hey! There's
iTunes.
emojis flying up here.
Everywhere, really.
There's emojis flying up all over the screen. And you've got your social media as well.
I've got my social media, yes.
And what are the tags for them?
It's all under the same handle. It's just Daisy Girl Music.
Right.
Amazing.
Yes.
Dead easy for everyone to go and follow. Daisy Girl Music. Daisy, thank you so much for taking the time for doing this little interview podcast.
Thanks for letting me chat a load of shit for nearly an hour.
Listen, that's what we're here for.
That's what we love.
We do.
You laughed at me back. I enjoyed this. It was quite fun.
Well, the plan is when COVID's done, dusted, we've had our COVID vaccines and everything, we want to get this indoors. I've said this to Chris from Day Dot. Imagine if we had this podcast indoors and we actually have physical contact with everyone and, get these people in and talk. Listen, the plan's there. We just need everyone to make sure that they follow us all on our social media. Yeah. So I'm going to plug ours as well. Get the jabs. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. On Facebook, we are at CLive. On Twitter, we are at CLiveEnster1. And on Instagram, we are at CLiveUK. Chris, thank you again, mate.
Thanks, mate. And I'll see you same time next week.
Same time next week. That's been another edition of the CLive podcast. As always, stay safe out there. Good night. God bless everyone. Bye-bye.